Aviva Goldfarb with the 6 O'Clock Scramble, and today for the first time I'm going to show you a slow cooker recipe. Now for a lot of people the slow cooker is like their best friend because you can literally throw all the ingredients in the morning or in the afternoon before you run errands or drive carpool. When you come home, dinner is done. So I'm going to show you a recipe that is perfect because not only is dinner done, but it includes your protein and your vegetable. So all you have to do is steam some rice or put it in the rice cooker and you've got the whole meal ready to go when you get home. So we are making spicy Szechuan ground turkey and green beans. The way that we're going to start is I have a pound of ground turkey. You can also use ground pork or ground chicken if you prefer, or you can even use meatless crumble, which we do sometimes. And I'm going to put that right in the slow cooker, and I'm just going to break it up a little bit in there so it's not super chunky at the end. Now we're going to make our sauce. So the sauce is 3 tablespoons of soy sauce or tamari, whatever you have. I'm going to measure them right in this bowl. Then we have 1 tablespoon of rice wine or mirin. Mirin's a little bit sweeter than rice wine. It happens to be what I had on my shelf because I use it in a lot of Asian recipes. And then we have about a quarter to a half teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes, depending on how spicy you like it. We like it kind of spicy, so I'm going to go with the whole half teaspoon and put those right in there. And then we have a teaspoon of cornstarch, and this is just a thickener. It doesn't really add any flavor. I'll put that right in there to make the sauce a little bit thicker and almost creamier. And then we are going to add our garlic and ginger, so all these great fresh Asian ingredients. So for the ginger, you can of course use the frozen cubes if you prefer. I have fresh ginger here. You just want to peel it. Some people say it's easier to peel with a grapefruit spoon. I've tried both ways. I just find it easier with my oxo peeler. So we're gonna have a tablespoon of fresh ginger. And so I have peeled it. And now what I wanna do is chop it up into pretty even pieces. And then take those pieces and turn them and keep chopping them because you're gonna want it minced, which is a really fine dice. So you don't get big chunks of ginger in there. So I just keep turning it and chopping it. You see I have my knife like this. And of course I just sharpened it before we started. So then you can get all fancy once it gets down here. Brush it off the knife occasionally. So we have about a tablespoon of minced ginger. I'm going to put that right in our sauce. And then we have our garlic. So with garlic, you can again use minced garlic in the jar. You can use frozen garlic. I have fresh garlic. I also have kind of a mess of ginger down here. But I always take the side of my knife and smash it to make it easy to peel. You want about 2 teaspoons of garlic. And so for me, these are pretty big cloves. So I thought that would be about 2 of these cloves. And peel your garlic. We're going to stick it right in my favorite mincer. Okay, I think we got it. So stick this whole big chunk in my giant Pampered Chef garlic peeler. I've raved about this before. It's the only garlic press I've ever had that actually works well. And one mistake that I see a lot of people making when it comes to mincing garlic is, I'm going to show you the better way to do it. When you push it through, you want to use the back of your knife, not the front of your knife, because you don't want to dull your knife. So that's 1. And again, if you like it more garlicky, add more garlic. If you're not the hugest fan, one thing that's nice is when you walk in the door with a slow cooker, your whole house is going to smell like this nice garlicky Chinese meal. That is our sauce. So now I have a pound of green beans. You can buy them already trimmed. You can even use frozen green beans in this recipe if you want. But I have a pound of trimmed green beans. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to line them up. I always like to find the fastest, easiest way to do things. So I probably took too many. You're going to want to line up the ends like that and just cut them in half so they're bite size. So you do that and you're going to throw that right on top of your ground meat in the slow cooker. So I'm going to go ahead and finish those. Now we've got our sauce that we just made with the soy sauce and mirin and cornstarch and garlic and ginger and something else I'm forgetting. But anyways, oh yeah, the Szechuan, the spicy peppers. So we are just gonna pour this right over the green beans and the ground turkey that's in there and make sure and get it all out. I don't like to waste anything. Just gonna pour it right in there, and you see how it's thickened with the cornstarch in there. And then I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a stir. You don't need to get the green beans all in there. It's all gonna cook together nicely. And I'm gonna cook it in the slow cooker. You can either do it for 6 to 8 hours on low or 3 to 4 hours on high, and it is going to be so delicious, you'll see. Okay, so now our spicy Szechuan green beans and ground turkey are done. So we have our protein and our vegetables right here in the pot. I'm just gonna sprinkle on some green onions or scallions, whichever you call them, on top, which will not only give it a freshness of flavor, but it also is pretty. It brightens up the color. And I have a little bit of brown rice right here. So if you make your rice in the rice cooker or you have frozen rice that you can heat up, dinner is done while you're out driving the carpool or coming home from work. We'll just scoop some of that right on there. And you have this delicious Chinese meal that you can eat at home. You don't need to go out for Chinese food at all. If you like this video and this recipe, I hope you try it. And please leave a comment and give the video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you won't miss any of our upcoming recipes. And remember, you are never too busy to eat well. Hi, I'm Aviva Goldfarb of the 6 O'Clock Scramble, and we are going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, and maybe yours, snacking, but healthy snacking. These are ideas for healthy snacks for adults or kids.